I think, like you mentioned, that everybody just wants to get into the space, the tourism space in terms of, and I think the market has become so saturated that everybody's just like doing the same thing.
Yeah.
After completing my qualification, I do this internship, and then they tell me that there's going to be a stipend. And I remember my mom asking me, so what are you going to do with this money? And I just said that, I don't know what I'm going to do with this money. There's a program called Executive Development Program for Women in Tourism.
Oh, perfect.
I was a pilot study for that when I think at the time, the Prime Minister, the Deputy Minister of Tourism was Zandile Nkosi.
I remember
so
that.
That initiative from the Department of Tourism was very, very important because they equip you.
Thing and that melody that welcomes you, it's our new thing that also welcomes you into our new space, our new studio. My name is Barba Gaoganediwe, your champion host, and welcome to another edition of Gauteng Lifve, your premier platform where we discuss everything the visitor economy, creator economy, and how it interface with other subsectors that support these important sectors of our economy. Gauteng Live is a platform that is available on the Gauteng Tourism Authority YouTube channel, and please don't forget to subscribe. Today, we are continuing our focus on phenomenal women that are making a difference, change, and taste makers in their own rights. And I am joined by fairly a younger sister of mine, a former colleague, Zandile Nkosi. How are you, Za?
I am well, thank you, Baba. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just really inspired, and having probably known you for the past probably 17 years.
17 years, that's
and
correct.
Seen you how you have grown, and many others, that came through the ranks of the GTA, started as interns, and now making, that's what just melts my heart, and that's what keeps some of us pushing. And how life has been.
Oh man, life has been amazing. There's been a lot of up and downs, growing up, a lot of growth. But I'm just grateful, and I think I'm just so blessed to be in this space right now, and just to have everything that has happened in my life at this day and age. A lot of, our peers, there's a lot that is happening, but I'm just so blessed, and I think I'm very privileged to be where I am today. Yeah.
Do you recall how it all started? Probably walking in there or dropping in a CV at the Den office, actually not far from where we are here, in Newtown, just looking for an opportunity. Do you have some fond memories or whatever memories of that time and that period?
Baba, I have so many memories of just driving here right now. There was just so much that brought back so many memories. It started, I did my national diploma at UJ.
Yes.
So I used to travel from Wanderers, taxi rank all the way to Auckland Park, Bunting Road campus. Yeah. And I used to pass the GTA offices here in Newtown. And it never resonated with me that one day I would actually be able to walk into those offices. Okay, fast forward, I then complete my national diploma, and then I get to do my internship at GTA, and I was actually recruited, and I think that's basically where it all started.
And now you have to get home and tell whoever at home that first encounter back in Tembisa. Now you have to reveal, and back then I guess even internships it was not clear.
Yeah.
What is it? Do you have work, or are you volunteering? Or you remember, and you have to tell them back home. How was the reception?
So, just after matric, just even getting out of that township and just, getting to further your studies was just like a big achievement. And then I did not have a lot of plans what was going to happen after I finished my qualification. But the only thing I knew was that I was studying through NEFSAS, the National Student Financial Aid. My parents were not working. So that was another opportunity for me. So, and then after completing my qualification, I do this internship, and then they tell me that there's going to be a stipend. And I was so excited.
Oh, wow.
I think then it was like 2,000 rand.
Yes.
And that
it
was
was a lot of money.
It was a lot. I mean, after just paying for my taxi fees and, then the rest was just mine. And I remember my mom asking me, so what are you going to do with this money? And I just said that, I don't know what I'm going to do with this money, but I just remember, I think there was this, in Bramfontein, there was a shop called Legit. I think it's still there.
Oh, yeah, Legit, yeah.
I spoiled myself. I spoiled myself.
The genie and top.
Because now I also had to learn to be responsible with money. Which is something that I've never experienced before. I had to learn to save with that, So I think a lot came with that responsibilities.
And now you are thrown into the tourism space. You getting to meet so many people, probably getting to travel a little bit, maybe starting domestically, getting to understand the operations in the tourism space. Will you say the sector then, we'll speak about now later, was it primed already for young women, with ambition at a time?
So at the time, I don't think so, because I think it should actually start at varsity stage or even at primary school stage, that build up until to high school and university, because you just learn theory. In varsity, they never really prepare you in terms of what's really going to happen in the workplace. So you are literally thrown in the deep end, and you have to learn on the job. The experience you will have, you have the theory, and then you have to just combine the two. But I don't think that the preparation is enough for students post school for them to go into the workplace. But I think that initiatives like mentorship, they play a very important role. If you get into a workplace and then you get someone that can mentor you in terms of where you are and where they see you and your passion and your capabilities of what is it that you can be able to do. So back then, no, but right now I think we are moving towards the right direction.
And maybe let's delve deeper into that aspect, especially as we speak about, there might be a lot who are watching and listening to us, as UJ, as one of the best, tourism and hospitality faculty out there, and many others that are there. And you get into a destination marketing organization like the GTA, where you might have studied hospitality. And hospitality tourism in the theoretical space is about how to do frontline desks, how to prepare a bed, how to prepare tables, canteens for breakfast set up, and you get in there. There's not even a bed to prepare. Now you actually have to get into a different space where it's physical interaction, is client relations. You are now thrown into interfacing with people on the other side, and fairly more experienced people, and predominantly white and male. And you are this young female into the space. Your message to those that are just about to complete or have just started their studies, and your message and guide to them on how to prepare for the post-school, post-varsity era in the tourism and hospitality sector.
Okay. So, because tourism is very broad, so when you go in, obviously you just mentioned that there is the hospitality part, and then there is the tourism development, and then there's, so whatever aspect or sector that you are coming in from, it's very important that after you have graduated, you do find experiential learning, which is your internship programs. So I think that does actually equip you and give you the skills to be able to deal with those client-facing interactions, to be able to deal with if there are challenges, how do you actually go about them? And like I mentioned before, also the mentorship part of it is very important, So there's a program called Executive Development Program for Women in Tourism.
Oh, perfect,
I was a pilot study for that when I think at the time, the Prime Minister, the Deputy Minister of Tourism was Thokozile Xasa.
Yeah,
yes, so that initiative from the Department of Tourism was very, very important because they equip you, they give you the management skills, they give you all the knowledge that you are going to need into when you actually get out of school and you are now going into the workplace, whether corporate tourism, but you have the necessary, skills to be able to get in there.
Absolutely. So it's very important for mentorship programs like this. So taking it a little bit back also, so all this, your studies, now you are exposed at the GTA, providing service, providing support, but also coupled with your background from Ekasi, the Hood is a place where is an informal teaching. It shapes you, you become battered and prepared. Will you say, how have all of these actually shaped you to actually move beyond just doing internship at the GTA to actually ultimately getting a permanent job and actually moving to where you are now?
So I think I had to quickly adapt to a lot. So after from GTA, I moved to Marriott, the Marriott Hotel Group, and then I moved to Bon Hotels, and then now I'm at Tourvest.
So specialized hotel.
Yeah. So that transition from public sector to corporate, I was actually exposed to now both sectors, So I think that it is very important that, just to be able to be exposed to both, sectors, be it the public sector or corporate. And it has actually taught me to work with different teams, dynamic teams, and, curate different tourism experiences, that actually speak to our local and that can speak to our local offerings, but also on a global larger scale as well. So that differentiation, I think I was actually privileged to have been worked for both the public sector and private sector.
So which one do you think?
Baba, don't do
which one do you think actually served your character, your passion, and your aspiration better?
I think public sector gave me the platform. It was my foundation. I used to travel domestically, and then moving into the corporate space, and then I now was exposed to international traveling, these big trade shows and workshops and conferences and congresses. So I think both of them actually played a very important role in my life, and I am right now. I think. I would say maybe corporate for me.
So you are a corporate girl.
I'm a corporate baddie.
You're a corporate baddie. So maybe let's take it back again. In Gauteng, probably one of the first provinces and the tourism bodies to establish a convention bureau, probably just after Cape Town and the National Convention Bureau. What will you say at right that time and till now was done very well, to set up, to establish, and what might have gone wrong in the process up until now?
Yeah. Gauteng for me, it's, we've learned that it's always been the gateway to Africa, the heartbeat of Africa, the hub for your business events, and I think we initially we got it right, because we hosted the 2010 World
FIFA
Cup,
World Cup,
and then before that there was the cricket Rugby World Cup in '95.
Remember the soccer Rex?
Correct. Those are global events. So I think we had the capacity, the resources, and the accessibility as well. And then over the years, I think we sort of slowed down, and we sort of lost that message of, sustainability. And I think we just need to gain the momentum again. And I think we can do that by, just investing more on innovation, and I think just strengthening those relationships with the corporate and public sectors. And I think most importantly, just to sing that song again of going back to our roots, and just making sure that we tell the local stories that they can resonate with the global market.
And speaking about the global market, you are now in a corporate space, working in different sectors. You are now with Torvest, one of the leading,
travel management
companies, very big in Africa and into some part of Europe and Middle East.
Correct.
And looking, and through your own experience of traveling out and working for a big corporate like this, the landscape in Gauteng in terms of mice, many people say Gauteng is a business destination. I say it's a pleasure destination.
Okay.
So it's a mix of business and leisure. So with the convention centers, the Galagas of this world, the Nasrec of this world, how best can Gauteng leverage what you are seeing happening in the global corporate mice space, especially around the infrastructure that we have, and the skill set that is housed in this province?
I think we have the resources. We just need to capitalize on them. We have the infrastructure. We just need to capitalize on that. When you travel overseas, how just seamless it is for you to just get from one place to another. I mean, I think we're getting there with the Gautrain, where you can be able to move from Sandton to Rosebank, to be able to access Sandton Convention Center,
and to the airport,
to the airport and all of that. So I think we are on the right path. It's just we just need to invest more and keep all of these resources, in terms of sustainability. And we have beautiful venues, meeting venues. We've got from a meeting venue that can host 5 people in terms of a boardroom, to a big convention center like your Sandton Convention Centers, that can host thousands of people and delegates. So I think we do have the right, resources. We just need to leverage on them more.
So if we look at let's take the domestic or regional or national corporate market, and especially in the mice space, and how the local, dynamics and what has been institutionalized as a culture. So we in South Africa, we drive our own in cars. With the challenge of public transport, we hardly use public transport. So you have a conference, an exhibition, and there are more cars in the parking lot than delegates, because everybody travels using that. And
I guess because it's more convenient as well for them.
But how important is a shift in culture and mind shift set to be able to be on par with global dynamics and standard, because taxi operators associations, in my view, can come in and become a support.
Yeah.
The Gautrain bus feeder system can come in and become a support to pull conference delegates from one place to another, from the hotels to another.
Yeah.
But I guess it's supposed to start with our very own local corporate market,
Yeah.
where we start embedding this to showcase the actual holistic setup that is there, from transportation to the actual conference venues to the gifts that you provide, that showcase all this other part of the ecosystem. How important is the continuation of that approach in bringing on board all the other partners?
So I think for me, it's all about collaboration.
Yeah.
So we need to start from all the sectors. Everybody must just collaborate. From when I land at the airport from the OR Tambo, for me to get transportation, whether it's me catching a bus or it's me catching a local taxi, it doesn't matter. For me to be able to get to my destination, and for me to be able to get to a restaurant to grab something to eat, for me to be able to get to my room at the hotel, and be assisted by whoever, and for me to be able to go out and get a gift, for me to get to somebody as a corporate gift, or for me to be able to go out with my friends in the evening going for after a meeting, so I think there needs to be a collaboration in terms of co-creation, in terms of branding, and just bringing everybody together so that we can have that seamless experience in terms of transportation, cultural experiences, and accommodation, and experiences. So everybody just needs to collaborate, and then we just need to come together and just have that seamless experience.
And out of your own experience, with having said that, and me looking and hearing you, there's just so much that is available here for somebody watching and listening to this conversation. Will you say there are opportunities, especially for startups and those that want to support the sector? I envisage a situation where there is an organized company that does the welcome service at the airport. There's somebody put in a welcome desk, for the conference delegate, so that you don't mix up with the rest of the leisure travel. The bus or whatever that picks you up there will have come from the local association or in collaboration, for example, with the taxis. The concierge service at the hotel, to what extent are they briefed to expect that there's delegates that might not be coming from the country? Therefore, when they ask you, it's a Tuesday and where can I go and have a ball, and they don't tell you it is not safe.
Yeah. So I think I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of SMMEs, both in corporate and in public sector. So, and I know a lot of people always say that there are no opportunities, but there are actually opportunities, because if you think about it, like you've just mentioned, someone just standing in the airport there with a placard, to receive guests, SMMEs that that are tour operators that need to take people from one place to another. And right now, I know there's the big trend of corporate gifting, using sustainable material, there's so much that, some amazing things that, your SMMEs are doing out there, I know there's a program that the Gauteng is actually pushing right now in terms of your the people that actually give translations, in terms of when you get into a tour bus, sign languages, all of that. So I think there is a lot of opportunities in terms of somebody that wants to actually get into the business and start up. And I know that also, like, there are some funding that you can be able to get as a new person that wants to tap into the tourism industry. You just need to be able to go to the right institutions, get the right advice, and be able to start your business.
And now coming back to your current role and organization, so in summary, if you were to explain to a lay person, what does Tovest do?
Yeah.
You know, what are you all about? And also, what are some of the opportunities, especially for young women, you know, in a facility like Tovest?
So Trovest Travel Services is a travel company.
Yeah.
We have a global footprint. So mainly our focus we specialize in end-to-end conference events, incentives, congresses, experiences. So I am in a division, a subdivision of Tovis Travel Services called MICE.
Okay.
So we obviously tailor-make all your MICE experiences.
Yeah,
No,
so MICE is
meetings, incentives, conferences,
absolutely.
and events.
Yeah.
So, and I am specifically focused on working with the pharmaceuticals. Pharmaceuticals is a very big space in terms of corporate. So it's all the doctors that are traveling to different destinations, either inbound or outbound. So we create the packages for them. So, for example, maybe one of the big pharmaceuticals that have a head office in Gauteng, Johnson & Johnson, for example, they will take a few doctors to go and attend a congress in Switzerland. So we have to arrange their flights, their visas, their accommodation, ground transportation, meals when they get there, and all of that, you know. So I think also there is an opportunity for young people to get into the space because we have program managers, we have tour leaders that actually get to go with the delegates, you know, and not only are the conferences being held outside of South Africa, but we do have conferences that also come to Gauteng, you know, and we do get to obviously expose our conference venues and our offerings in terms of what is it that Gauteng has to offer. So I think there is plenty that young people can be actually to tap into the space and, you know, join our organization. There's always something available for, these learnerships that are available for them to tap into.
And will you say with the normal, feminine touch that is very synonymous with the travel and hospitality, the MICE space, the entire visitor economy, and it's dominated by women. And mainly it's because it's a relationship space. It's a very space that requires you to be kind, to be able to communicate, and I guess women in general oozes with that. And within Tovest, as you deal with the different spaces, will you say there are opportunities, especially in your subdivision of pharmaceuticals, where we could actually leverage, for example, Zandi, the biggest children hospital in sub-Saharan Africa is here in Johannesburg, the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital. The biggest academic hospital in the sub-Saharan region, it's right here in Soweto, Chris Hani Baragwanath's hospital. One of the best academic hospitals is right in the capital city, Steve Biko Academic Hospital. I know there are efforts to build an aesthetics, cosmetics hospital here by Melrose. So our ladies will stop moving to Turkey, and we will have Melrose Arch replacing Turkey soon.
Back here in the background.
But will you say there are opportunities not just for building specific skill sets in the MICE space under pharmaceuticals, but also hosting specifically designed conferences and exhibitions that could leverage on these capabilities of some of the facilities you have? I guess when you attending a conference 2-3 days, and it's linked to a facility that adds into experiential showcase for your conference.
Yeah. So I think it's very important to have young Black women in leadership, because women bring very fresh perspective, and they have empathy, and they most of the time are able to bring in a lot of young people that can be able to give them mentorship, and be able to give them those opportunities. So when I see a young Black woman sitting in a boardroom, making decisions, and making decisions in terms of strategic partnerships, and I think it gives a lot of young women that courage and confidence to be able to say that, I think that there is, an opportunity for me to be able to get into this sector of tourism, especially in MICE. But just to go back to your question, the facilities that we have, I think there are multi, purpose. For example, if you go to Pretoria, or if you go to Joburg, if you go to the OR Tambo precinct, there's so many facilities that you can be able to do so much at the same time, without necessarily having to moving from one place to another.
100.
So I think that is one of the things that we can actually showcase in our province, that our venues are actually multi-purpose, and you can be able to do so much, and just to convert the space into so many things.
So when you say there's business, in the MICE sector, in the pharmaceuticals and ultimately medical tourism space, for destination marketing companies, tour operators, PCOs, professional conference organizers that are looking into that space. Yeah,
I mean, I think there is opportunities everywhere. You just have to know exactly find the gap into the market, and be able to just maximize on it. So in pharmaceuticals, I think it's very corporate, it's very business-like. So you think that it's just people like doctors that are traveling, and they're very serious. But I think after that, they are also just like ordinary people. They want to go out, they want to be able to experience the destination that they are in. They want to be able to move from one place to another. One of the things that I've actually also encountered is the fact that they don't want to spend a lot of time inside the hotel. They want to be able to go to different places, so it's not your typical corporate people that just come to, a conference or a congress, and then after that they leave. But after that, they have that authentic local experience.
So for our colleagues at health, for example, like I've said, with so many tertiary and academic hospitals and other private institutions, I mean, we know in Gauteng a lot of heads of states, especially from the continent, the region, if there's an urgent medical attention, they come down here. With the infrastructure from Lanseria Airport, medical rescue ambulances. We did a site visit to Magalies just the other week, and the facility there, the Valley Lodge, they were showing us they were showing us a helipad where the helicopter is able to land. And they were telling us that this is actually what set us apart. Because if there were to be something, God forbidden, happening to a guest, and the guest need to be airlifted, to a medical facility, the lodge, the hotel has that capability for a chopper to land, So coming back to your pharmaceutical and the medical space, where you are pulling in incentives, putting in both inbound conferences and exhibitions and outside, is there a role for especially the public sector, institutions and practitioners in helping solidify, this pharmaceutical subsector within the MySpace from your organization that you are responsible for? Like I was saying, when the conference is here and it's next to a medical facility, you are able to design a program of the conference that include, site visits to the facility that helps in, bringing the conference closer to, the real life situation.
Yeah. So what I've also noticed, Baba, is the fact that we don't only have our public institutions that only are just a hospital or, just a facility for medical attention. But I've seen that most of our medical facilities, like right now, they build them in such a way that the infrastructure is able to cater for, just having a conference or a meeting, or for people to come through and do a site inspection, So if you would have a normal situation where you're having a conference at a hotel or at a conference venue. You have it at the hospital because they do have those facilities right now. So I think we are moving into a space right now where we are actually shifting from the normal way of doing things into being now creative and just bringing those different aspects into one, and just seeing that how can we best have that offering that is different, because we want to sell something that is different. So we have those institutions now. We're able to bring in doctors. They can have their congress there, they can have their conference, and then after that they can go out into the same facility, be able to do something else different.
And I guess now with the culture of giving responsible practices, we've seen post-COVID, travelers and people, conferences and exhibitions that includes a dedicated course. We've seen others wanting to volunteer in the destinations that they are visiting, or they are hosting their conferences. Will you say this provides a platform actually for such, and probably even the mentorship approach that you were referring to earlier? Now you have doctors from all over. Or you have heart surgeons that are coming in, and they are at Grooteskier, and there's this big story and history about this hospital and Chris Barnard and the first heart surgeon, and now there are these surgeons from all over the world that now interface with the surgeons, not just at the conference but at the facility. I guess this provides also for the extension of that mentorship program.
The mentorship program is very important because I think with the pharmaceutical space, it's very regulated and very restricting at some point. But that opportunity is there for when you just mentioned that when these delegates come to South Africa, they are not expected that after the conference, then they leave, they go back home. So, but there is some sustainable campaigns that they have to leave some sort of legacy, so that mentorship does come through. So you find that there will also be doctors that will come through and say that, they have opportunities back home in their home countries where they can take a few students with them and take them and, be able to put them into provide a package for them, and then they come back and then they have those skills if they wanted to, just get into that tourism industry or the medical industry. But I think there is that sustainability after the whole experience when they're here.
And I guess everybody now with the the world turning into what all of us not envisage it to be, we can do with a little bit of, care, a little bit of support, and a course, that it's. So let's get into the challenges and beyond Toves, Zandi, just in this specific space. So somebody might say, how do I become a professional conference organizer and be able to set up, because now everybody wants to do events,
Wants to be a PCO.
Yeah, and I don't even think they know what is PCOs. They might ultimately become PCOs, but they are not aware.
Yeah.
So everybody wants to do an event. Everybody wants a sponsorship. So I always ask, again, I get a lot of this, and somebody says, no, ke kopa tjhelete re batla support to do this event. And I says, okay, how much are you putting in? And he says, no, I need money from you. I says, and then whose event is this? And he says, mine. But how can be your event and you're not putting it anything? So these are some of the things. But for those that wants to step by step want to become, be able to provide a support, a service to a space like yours, because I guess you need professional event organizers, professional exhibitions organizers, somebody who knows the difference between leisure travelers and business travelers, that you are working with an itinerary, you are working with specific timelines, and you are working within a specific sector. Your guide and message to them as to how to go about this?
I think, like you mentioned, that everybody just wants to get into the space, the tourism space, in terms of, and I think the market has become so saturated that you find so many tour operators, you find so many PCOs. Everybody's just like doing the same thing. And then we have this database of just so many people, and they're all offering the very same thing, So I think first you just need to find the gap into the market in terms of what is it that I can do differently, or what is the what are our opportunities out there in terms of, since everybody's doing the same thing, what is it that I can be able to offer that is different, bring into the market, And I think in our space, most of the time we work with DMOs, destination marketing organizations, where we need assistance with, because they know the destination so well, better than us. Then they're able to create accurate packages for us in terms of from point one to B, what is it that needs to be done, because they know the destination better than us. So I think that would be a starting point. And in terms of funding, I think you first, like you mentioned, you can't start a business if you don't have anything to offer yourself.
Absolutely.
So have whatever it is that you need assistance with, you must be able to have something that you are able to put on the table yourself, not only in terms of your experience or your focus, but in terms of cash flow,
your commitment,
and your dedication as well, And I know everybody's always talking about a business plan in terms of what is a business plan? How do you go about a big business? It's one thing to go and say that I have this opportunity and I need help, but what is your business plan? What do you have to offer? And where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? And what kind of assistance are you going to need? So based on that, I think there is a lot of opportunity, especially in the pharmaceutical space, in the destination marketing organizations.
And I guess you touched on it also, the importance of actually also co-creation and partnerships. And you might have some DMC supporting you. You might have others. Let's take, for example, there's the DMC that specializes in itineraries development, hosting, services, and you have this nurses, or you have these pharmacists that are here for the conference. From different countries. So they are able to create an itinerary that says, post the conference, we're going to take you to here, we're going to take you to the lion parks and the gold reef cities of this world. But how do you then balance that with somebody who says, we are actually offering cultural entertainment? We will take you to Konga and be able to see a Mohodu and an ace of spade being paired, and is normal, in our location. I guess there is an opportunity there for collaboration, for co-creation, so that when you deal with what you said, identifying your niche, it doesn't just blocks you in that corner, but it allows you to have what is a niche and pay it with others, so that you are able to ultimately have delegates that have a fulfilled experience and want to return now as leisure travelers into the destination.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, it's all about collaboration. All these experts need to collaborate because no man can be able to do this alone. You need to collaborate with different institutions. You need to collaborate with different exhibitions in terms of what is it that you are offering. So at the end of the day, you are able to create that co-branding, that co-creation, in terms of everybody just coming together into that's having that seamless experience. And I think we are also at the point where we need to be able to compete with our international experiences, so that people actually know that we can actually offer a unique different local experience that you can never find anywhere else, but only when you come to our destination.
I will not let you leave before asking you this, especially that you are in the pharmaceutical space. Not that you are responsible for medication, but you are in the mice space where you host. Do you see the indigenous meds space and practitioners coming on board? Because for me, that's one of the unique things that is in the African continent. Somebody was asking, what is a Sanusi, a credo mutua type who predicts, who shares, who able to see, who's able to tell you where the actual medication ingredients are, where the plants are. And we have these big multinationals that comes in, takes them, repackage them into a very dreadful pills and syrups, that we then consume after being repurposed from our own indigenous stuff. Do you see any shift in how that sector, and for example, will your division be keen to putting up a conference of indigenous medicine practitioners that brings all the medical practitioners from the continent on board to deal or talk or present alternative, medicine regime?
Pharmacy and pharmaceuticals, we know that they do drugs, be it it's just your regulated drugs that you find in the drugstore, your pharmacies. But I think whether you're using a natural remedy or a drug, at the end of the day, I think they're all just using the natural resources to be able to create this drug. So I do see an opportunity where there's big pharmaceutical companies coming together, with your local that they're sitting there in the corner with his, mohalakani.
Absolutely.
And because at the end of the day, they are using the same natural resources. So in terms of how do they then make sure that, they come together, and we have this now collaboration between the,
indigenous guys
and the corporate or the standardized way of doing things. So I think there is also an opportunity there to bring them together and see what is it that they can be able to do, because as much as they are sitting in their own offices, creating all these in their fancy laboratories, creating all these drugs, but there is also that they're sitting in the corner who is crafting or mixing his medication in terms of what needs to be done. At the end of the day, they they both do the same thing. I need a natural remedy that can be able to cure me for my headache, but we're just using different resources and facilities. So it's just a matter of just bringing the two together and seeing how maybe they can be able to work together.
100. And I guess I've seen, for example, in India, how that has been able to be mainstreamed.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why India is one of
Yeah.
the big markets,
Yeah.
especially in that space. And nobody looks down
Exactly.
on traditional medicines
Yeah.
and the sector. It's brought together. There's no one called local, another one international.
Yeah.
They are all offerings that are pulled together. And South Africa and Africa, I guess there lies an opportunity to everyone who says what are the opportunities in the maize pharmaceutical space. There we go. I remember we were doing a tour in Pretoria, and we had to go through. So the tour, it takes you through the township, but you have to go through a specific nyanga to go check yourself as part of the tour. And I guess these are no longer secrets, but they are still sacred.
Correct.
But they are part of the offerings that we should be able to put up there.
I mean, what a time to be alive if we were to find ourselves in a situation where, for example, maybe there's a conjuring that is happening and there is your healers that come through dressed in their traditional regalia, and you have your corporate doctors that are dressed in their suits and all of that. But at the end of the day, they are all presenting something that is, of the same value and that can be sustainable. But it doesn't matter, like you just said, it doesn't matter where you come from, and you shouldn't look down on the fact that one is this one and one is this one. For someone that is traveling from overseas to come to South Africa, why not they just go to a corner, shop there by the corner where they put the umpepo, for example, and buy it there, and give whoever the notes in dollars or in pounds, and then that's way of creating leveraging to our economy as well.
100. As we wrap up, Zah, and we spoke about the opportunities in the space, but the women leadership, especially in the space you are in, as we celebrate South Africa's Women's Month, how important is it to have this continuing, so that it's not just celebrated in August, but it's something that is institutionalized? Because as they say, if you need to get things done, give
Ask
it to the women to handle that.
I mean, I just think that women just bring a fresh perspective into everything. And I think the initiatives like your Women in Mice Awards, I think there was one that just took place not recently. And the initiative of the Executive Development Program for women. I know at the time it used to be free, but now you pay for it, But those platforms are so important, especially for young Black women who want to tap into the industry, who want to experience what the sector is all about. But I think we have to put those platforms where we find young Black women that are going to be in your boardrooms, that are going to be making those business decisions, that are going to actually take this country or our economy into another level. Because we are sitting in a situation where we really need young blood. We need fresh minds, that are going to come up with different ideas and, innovation in terms of what is it that needs to happen in terms of where we move forward, where we are from now, and how do we see ourselves going forward.
So from Tembisa to Newtown to the GTA offices into 124, now a corporate change maker at Torvest. I guess not even the sky could be your limit. So what's in store? When we invite you again in the next 18 months, where will you be?
Look, Baba, I think after I did my in terms of my qualifications, I did my B Tech at TUT.
Yeah.
And then I did my postgrad again in TUT again. So now I want to further my studies again and just complete my master's degree. But I think the sky's the limit. I do actually want to, make a difference in terms of the environment where I am right now, especially just bringing a lot of transformation and, into the environment where I am, and just bringing in more, young people into the space. And, I'm a product of mentorship. And I believe in mentorship because it just gives you those skills, from someone who's been in those experiences that can actually guide you and support you in terms towards your goal and achievements. So yeah, I want to be able to, have a few mentees that I can be able to bring on board and see where we go. Yeah.
So I guess while being in corporate space, being responsible for very serious sector like pharmaceuticals, working with doctors and all this, you are a Tembisa born and bred. You are a true embodiment of GP lifestyle. So there's a fun part and a whole sub. So your song, one song that you think represent, Ikasila Makasi Tembisa or Gauteng, which you think every time when this gets played, because we're trying to compile a playlist, of Gauteng gems. But from your side, what is that one song that when you put on this reminds you of your hood, or this is a song that is a fair representation of the story, the pulse and the energy of this golden province?
Oh, you just put me on the spot right now. Okay, I think I'm a big fan of Thandiso Mazwai. Okay. So I think the song that actually comes to mind right now is Ngoma Ushaya ubusuku bonke. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that for me, just growing up, Ekasi, just like having to listen to that song, and it just resonates with just being, Tani Somazai being just like a very strong Black woman as well, and the message that she sings into the message that she brings across into her songs, So for me, that's what being a Gautenga or a Tembisen, is all about, and the different experiences as well.
No, thank you very much, Zandi, for really praising, and you can hear she's a very passionate and phenomenal strong woman, and also appreciate and give praise to other powerful women out there. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation and joining us on Gauteng Live podcast. We wish you all the best. We actually don't even want to see the sky blocking you. Mm-hmm. You must pioneer higher and higher. Let us know when you get those mentees, and let's see how far they go. But we are really thankful for having you there, and we believe in your capabilities that they will also multiply and follow in the footsteps of the phenomenal women that marched to the Union Building in 1956 and led to other women taking the struggle forward. Abu Mama Winnie Madikizela Mandela, with Thandiso's song truly reflecting the power that is housed in our phenomenal women. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, Chanzi.
Thank you very much, Baba. And I am very appreciative of the opportunity. It was really an honor and a privilege to be here today, especially being Women's Month as well, And I just hope that this will be a beginning and a start of many more of these kind of platforms, because we really need them. We need to sing that song of women in terms of, just being transforming the industry as well. So I'm very pleased. I am very appreciative, and thank you so much.
That's the song, as they say, it sings the whole night. And that's why I guess it's called Kwandonga Ziyaduma, this destination. That has been another fascinating episode of Gauteng Lifve. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on our channel at Visit Gauteng on Twitter, at Visit Gauteng also on Instagram and at TikTok. We are at I Love Gauteng on Facebook, and you can also bring your tourism, travel, hospitality, events, business, and event itself into our mobile app, which is available on iStores and also available on Google Play. From myself and the rest of the crew, it has been wonderful to have you, Zandi. And until the next episode, second round.